Great morning, great morning, great morning, you guys. Something is going on. I don't know what's going on with the system, but it's showing that I'm not live in one place, but it's showing live in another place. So, y'all, I don't know what's going on. It'll catch up. Great morning. Y'all, come on in. Come on in. There we go. Now it wants to catch up. Come on in. Come on in. We're going to get started. Y'all let me know who's here and where you're tuning in from. Who's here and where you are tuning in from. Great morning, you guys. I'm trying to see y'all. Bear with me. Today's word is a little, it's not quite going to be what you might expect from Let the Dead Bury the Dead. But this is what was impressed on me. Now before I get to that, I'm going to share some other things with you. But I need y'all to know, I need y'all to get ready. I need y'all to go ahead and share because I came to set the captives free. Some people need to be freed from the burden, from the weight that they've been carrying as it relates to people. Hey, Tim, surprise. Hey, April, great morning, great morning, great morning. I appreciate you guys. Go on and share, you guys. Go on and share, go on and share. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. Great morning, Stacy. How are you, gorgeous? Hey, Georgie, how are you? How are you? Good to see you, beautiful. Y'all share. Let me know when you shared. Put shared in the comments so that I'll know. And then we'll go ahead and rock it out. Y'all see Daddy Bear back here hanging out with me, keeping me company. He's so good. So this morning has been weird. It's been a little weird. First of all, I went to sleep very early last night. I was exhausted. I don't know if you guys were on the day that I talked about like the pedophilia rings and you know how stuff was going to be coming out about major pastors in 23. And I was talking about, hold on, y'all, let me put on my do not disturb. And I was talking about these kids and how the kids are I was talking about the kids and how we're not protecting our kids, right? Thank you, April. Good morning. Great. Stacey, I'm so glad. I'm good. So yesterday, when I gave that message, I had a dream on December 5th. The night of December 5th, I had a dream. The dream was disturbing to me. It wasn't kids in the dream, it was me in the dream. In these different places, people wouldn't help me. Knowing I wasn't where I was supposed to be, but not knowing how to get to where I was supposed to be. On the 6th, I came on, I did the prophetic drive-by. You know, God took me to these videos. It was talking about Hollywood and some stuff that happens in Hollywood. So I was sharing that stuff with you all. And he gave me a revelation about in 23, how there are these how these rings that exist within the church are going to be exposed, and these pastors are going to be exposed, right? So later that day, someone sends me a friend request. Well, on their page, they shared something where all of these kids are missing in Memphis, Tennessee. Okay. All of these kids started going missing like in November in Memphis, right? And it was like all of these black kids, they were black. They were teenagers and they'd gone missing. So I'm sharing that. I shared it, and one of my former students reached out to me, Tandrea, and her husband is from Memphis. Well, yesterday she calls me, And 3 of her husband's cousins went missing, all sisters. Okay. Um, there's this elaborate plot to draw these kids out of their homes. Like, nobody's busted in their homes taking them. No, the plot is to draw the kids out of their homes and get them in these vehicles. Okay. So that is one whole thing, right? It's one whole thing. It's heavy on me. It's been weighing on me. But also, um, this morning, like in the crazy wee hours of the morning, I woke up. And when I woke up, um, I don't know, I was feeling creative. I was feeling creative. So I wrote a poem, a spoken word piece about love me, right? And this is going to all tie together. So y'all stay with me. We're talking about let the dead bury the dead. Okay. So I don't know. I was feeling real creative. Okay. I was feeling real creative. Now y'all going to be like, ooh, who's she in love with? I didn't say I was in love with nobody. I'm just saying I was feeling creative and this is what came into my spirit. And I'm going to share it with you guys. Thank you for sharing. Hey, Jackie, how are you? Beautiful. So I'm going to share this with you all. So hold on. Let me get to it. And I wrote it directly on Facebook. Like, what's on your mind? This is what's on my mind. Okay, hold on. So it's called Love Me. Yeah, I just don't y'all to listen for a minute. Love me for me, not who you think or desire me to be. Love me with all of the things that are a part of me. Love my curves, my dips, my hips, my lips, but also love my grays wherever they may appear. Love me in every season and every year. Don't try to own me, possess me, control me. Instead, free me to explore me and continue to grow me. I don't go on a pedestal or in a box. I've got to get down and use the master key that unlocks my mind to conceive the inconceivable, unlocks my heart to love in ways that seem unbelievable, unlocks my soul to expand beyond the borders of what is known, unlocks my inner child to heal and become grown. You see, real love expands. It doesn't constrict. It flows and blows like a flower in the wind. It doesn't wrap around you and tighten up so you can't bend. The truth is, I can't love you and you can't love me until we each love ourselves independently. Yes, I said I have to love me, my curves, my dips, my hips, my lips. I have to love my flaws, my scars, and my grays. I have to love the things that no one sees but me. I have to love my journey of becoming more me. You have to love your hair loss and all. You have to love you with weight and weight loss. You have to love your muscles and your flab. You have to love you with or without abs. You have to love your success and your failures. You have to love the lessons and pleasure. You have to love the things they said that they hated. You and I have to be glad that we both waited. Who knew you would show up out of the blue? Who knew that our encounters would produce a love that's so true? A love that is pure and open and giving, a love without guile or evil intention, a love so powerful it opens our mind, soul, and heart, a love that feels right from the very start. All I know is love is more than I thought. And I know that this love can't be taught. It is an experience in being, eyes opened for seeing, mouth wide and freely singing, body moving so freeing. I love me, you love you, we love we. But to God be the glory. And that's what y'all snap. Ashley said, okay, Dr. Me, girl, tell somebody. Hey, Corey. Hey, Frida. So, y'all may say, first of all, y'all like my little spoken word, my little poem. I did a little something. Y'all let me know. Did I do something? Because I was feeling inspired. Thank you, Corey. Ashley said, snap, 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 snap. Now listen. So let me tell y'all this. If I'm talking about love, right? Why would I then do a live talking about let the dead bury the dead? Okay. So this is what God began to speak to me, right? The dead exist all around us. People who are the walking dead. They're the people who stay in the negative, stay in the problem. Not only do they focus on the problem, but they magnify the problem. They magnify the negative in every situation they find themselves in. They magnify the negative, in everyone else's life. They just negative, negative, negative. They used to call them a negative Nancy, right? A sour Sally, a sad Susan. Now, I don't know why all those got to be female names, but y'all get the point, right? And this is the connect. When I was talking about what's going on in the world, okay, there are people who are dead, asleep, not awake. Oh, thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Tim. Snap, snap. Poet to add to the list, y'all. I've been doing spoken word and poetry and stuff, y'all. I just haven't done it for a while. Thank you, Stacy. So when we're talking about the kids and the situations with the kids, there are people who are asleep, who are dead. They're not awake. The dead are the sleeping. Let the sleeping bury the sleeping, right? So what we tend to do is we try to wake all of the sleeping up. We try to bring the dead back to life. And listen, some people will wake up, some people won't. So that's when you got to know to let the dead bury the dead. Oh, God, Corey. Talking about that needs to be performed on stage. I'm going to call my agent and see if he can set it up for me. We cannot spend all of our time focusing on trying to make those who don't get it. Now, listen, what does it have to do with love? So often in our lives, we try to make people love us who don't get us. They can't see all of our value, or they want to change who we are. And we can't do that. Like, you've got to be willing to accept people exactly as they are. Not, we're going to change this, we need to work on this. Not, just exactly as they are. Exactly. If you can't accept them exactly as they are, and I'm not saying that there won't be things that change. I'm not saying that there won't be shifts. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying if you can't accept them exactly where they are right now in their life, wait or let them go. You see, we create situations where we try to make people be someone they're not. So what happens? We try to become who people want us to be or think we should be, and we find ourselves feeling smushed, right? Instead of it being open, expanded. There are people who don't get it, and we argue with them. We, argue and debate and try to make them see our point of view. We try to make them understand the bigger picture. We try to get them to expand their thinking when their thinking is constricted and limited. They're very tunnel in their vision and their focus, but we try to get them to see the bigger picture. Now, I'm not saying don't have conversations. I'm not saying to only be around people who think like you. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you cannot get caught up in trying to get other people to see what God has shown you. You can't get caught up in trying to make people understand who God has made you. You can't get caught up trying to get people to be passionate about things that they're not passionate about. If God gives you a passion for something, then maybe He gave you that passion because there's something you are to do with that. Maybe it's not for everybody else. Maybe it's something that He's showing you, a place that He wants you to go, to be, something He wants you to say, something that He wants you to focus on. It may not be for everybody, but guess what? There are some people out there that when you open up your mouth, they are going to hear you. And for them, it is going to be a clarion call. In other words, it is going to be the call that they've been waiting on to draw those people who are like minded together. That's why I ain't mad that I'm not for everybody. I'm not for everybody. Everybody's not going to follow me. Everybody is not going to watch me. Everybody is not going to agree with me. Like, that just is what it is. But there's some people that I'm for, right? There's some people that when I open up my mouth, what I say is like, man, that's on point because I was just. And if you're the person that says I was just, then this is for you. Stop trying to convince people of your value who cannot see your value, because they will always and forever try to shortchange you. They will always and forever try to minimize your impact, minimize what you do, minimize. They're going to minimize. Why are they going to minimize? Because they can't handle and value the full capacity of who you are. Lakita said, add poet to the list. Yeah, because it's a lot to the list of Dr. V, right? It's like, Dr. V, what don't you do? Well, I don't know. What don't I do? I do a lot. There's a lot to me. There's a lot of creativity that people don't always get to see. I'm an actor. I'm a poet. I'm a singer, even though I'm not always on key and I don't always know the words. I'm a performer. I love performing. I love performing. I love being on stage. I love being in my creative space. And sometimes what will happen is I will be so busy on the other side that I don't give my chance and opportunity to operate on that creative side. But I love that creative part of me. So this year, as I've been on this journey, I'm working to actively integrate my identity, all of the pieces of me, and bring them together. Yes, the educator, the entrepreneur, the financial person, the healer, the preacher, pastor, prophet, apostle, evangelist, teacher, the mother, the grandmother, the woman, the wife. Honey, she coming. She I'm always a wife, but it's gonna line. um my sexy, my intelligent, my um anointed, like all of it, all of me. Like, I want all my fitness, because I'd be concerned with health and wellness, all of the aspects of me integrated. So I'm just me, right? I'm one person with many facets. Yes, Corey, multifaceted, like a diamond. Think about diamonds. Oh, Lakita, the shepherd with the vision. Thank you, boo. When you think about diamonds, there are facets to diamonds, right? It's one diamond with many facets. Like, depending on how you turn it, it determines what you kind of see, right? But if I get caught up in trying to be what anyone other than God wants me to be, I'm going to lose some of me. And if you do it, you're going to lose some of you. It's one of the reasons that I tell people everyone has their own journey. And just because your journey doesn't look like mine, or the way you take your journey is not necessarily how I would take my journey, doesn't mean your journey is wrong. It simply means it's your journey. I don't have a right to speak on your journey because it's yours. You don't have a right to speak on my journey because it's mine. Not in the negative, you know? I feel like we get too busy, but that's the dead. So listen, dead things want everything around them dead. Dead people want everyone around them dead. Why? Life is disturbing to the dead. The living is disturbing to the dead. Why? It's loud. It shakes things up. It's joyous and boisterous when the dead just want to be dead. I'm dead. Leave me be. Don't be trying to make me. I don't want to smile. I don't want to move. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Integrated. Of course, it write it down. That's a book. How these darn books, Jesus help me. So when I think about my life and my journey, and I think about the people who are connected to me, my prayer, my hope, and my desire for those connected to me is that you would stop spending so much time with the dead and deal with the living. this week, this week, I had a lot of significant people in my life who are dead who had birthdays. And it could seem like I'm focused on the dead, but let me tell you what God has been doing. It's not so much about focusing on the dead as it is about connecting some dots for the living. We need to know things that have happened in certain times, and because guess what, our body keeps score. So I used to wonder why October, end of October, November, December was rough for me. Like it just would be a rough season for me. The other rough season was around April, May. That would be another rough season for me. And I couldn't figure out why. And then when I go back and I look, the people who I've loved and I've lost and their birthdays or when they died, and I see, okay. This is why. See, even if my mind doesn't remember, my body remembers. So when you experience trauma, your body keeps score. And if you're not aware of the score that's being kept, you won't understand what's happening. But when it comes to your awareness, then you can deal with it. I don't want my timeline to just be happy heavenly birthdays. Okay? But I want to honor the life, the memory, and the legacy of people who have gone on. And for me, what that does for me, I'm just talking about for me, it may not do that for you. And I'm not telling you to do this. And I know they're not having birthdays in heaven. Y'all, I know that. Listen, and the old spiritual me would be so mad at people that put happy heavenly birthday because it ain't no such thing. Listen, I get it, right? But there's a way that we can begin to recognize. So look, once you're aware of those times and you track in your life what happened during those times, then you can deal with that and approach it from a different perspective. Frida says, same time of year for me, and I figured this out too a few years ago, and it changed the way I deal with this time of the year. Exactly. Because if you know what tends to happen, then you can be aware and you can deliberately schedule time to allow yourself to have some downtime and not pressure yourself, as well as add in time to do things that you love and you enjoy so that you shift the energy around the time. Did y'all know we have the ability to do that? To shift the energy around the time, to create new memories, to give our body new things to keep score of. So instead of, be like, oh, it's no. You do something you really desire to do, really want to do, something that makes you happy. You add new memories that lighten your life, New memories that give you joy, that make you smile, that make you laugh. Honey, the release, honey. That's the release. Frida said exactly right. So I did something, right? So my siblings and I went to my brother Travis's grave. We've never done that. I'm talking about my brother has been dead since 1984, my senior year in high school. And we, as siblings, have never gone to the cemetery together. We did it. It created a new memory. Now, the new memory is not so much on his death as it is on his life and how his life impacted us. One of the greatest tragedies, I believe, particularly in the African American community, is our don't talk about it. Just don't talk about it. Just act like it didn't happen. So we act like things didn't happen. Meanwhile, it definitely happened. It definitely is affecting us. And we definitely are carrying the weight of the trauma in our bodies. So if you know you carrying trauma in your body, do something with your body that allows you to release the trauma. Yesterday, one of my friends, Empress Sharita Marie, um, was talking about she had been feeling kind of down and she had anointed herself and she had done a dance. And she was talking about how freeing it was. So it you got to figure out what that looks like for you. Singing, dancing, playing a sport, going skating or ice skating, but doing something that you enjoy. Corey said, our son Melek would be 21 tomorrow. It helps me to honor his memory. My god sister got married on his birthday. That's our new beautiful and happy memory. Absolutely. And the fact that you can integrate that he would have been 21. That's a milestone birthday, but you got the opportunity to carry him for whatever length of time. You know, one of the things that we talk about, and I've been sharing this with you all, the 3 gifts exercise, where you find 3 gifts in whatever experience. No event in and of itself is good or bad. The event is, the thing is, the situation is. We place the value on it from our perspective and our thinking. So when I tell y'all that it is time for us to shift our minds, it's time for us to shift our focus, it's time for us to shift our expectations, it's time for us to shift our mood, it's time for us to shift, and a shift is possible, but you got to first believe that it's possible. If you don't believe it's possible, it won't happen. So my focus cannot be on the dead or the asleep. My focus has to be on those who are alive, those who are awake, those who can hear the sound of my voice, even if they were dead. Think about Ezekiel. Ezekiel was in the valley of dry bones. Now, that's the epitome of the dead, okay? He's in the valley of dry bones, and there's all these dry bones around him, carcasses, the remains of people who were once living who are now dead. And God asked Ezekiel the question, can these bones live? And Ezekiel gives an answer similar to what we would probably give. I don't know, God. Only you know. So God, in his infinite wisdom, see, this is why I be loving God, because God he thinks outside of the box, okay? So God, in his infinite wisdom, continues his questioning, right? Hold on, y'all. Let me get to Ezekiel and the dry bones, honey, because I'm gonna share this with y'all. Hold on. Okay. Ezekiel 37. So y'all bear with me. Let me get there. Ezekiel is in the Old Testament. Ezekiel 37. Okay. So I'm going to read the New Living Translation. Good morning, Martin. How are you, beautiful? It says, verse 1, the Lord took hold of me, and I was carried away by the Spirit of the Lord to a valley filled with dry bones, or filled with bones. He led me all around among the bones that covered the valley floor. They were scattered everywhere across the ground and were completely dried out. Then he asked me, Son of man, what? Hold on. He's talking to Ezekiel, right? He's talking to Ezekiel, because that phrase is also used for somebody else in the New Testament. Oh, I'm just okay. Oh, just stay with me. Just stay with me. Son of man, can these bones become living people again? Ezekiel says, "O sovereign Lord, you alone know the answer to that." Then he said to me, speak a prophetic message to these bones and say, dry bones, listen to the word of the Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says. Look, I am going to put breath into you and make you live again. I will put flesh and muscle on you and cover you with skin. I will put breath into you and you will come to life. Then you will know that I am the Lord. So what does Ezekiel do? He speaks the message just as he told him. And he says, suddenly, as I spoke, there was a rattling noise all across the valley. The bones of each body came together and attached themselves as complete skeletons, not missing a bone. No, no, no. Came together as complete skeletons. They started as skeletons. He said, then as I watched, muscles and flesh formed over the bones. Then skin formed to cover their bodies, but they still had no breath in them. So he's watching the process of the dead coming back to life, right? Starts with the bones coming together. The bones come together, it creates the skeleton. Then the muscles and the tissue begins to come onto the bones. And then the skin covers the muscle and the tissues, right? But there's still no breath. Then he said, listen, God giving us a formula for speaking to the dead. Then he said to me, speak a prophetic message. Now listen to me. These words that he's speaking are prophetic declarations. They are prophetic declarations. They are declaring what is not currently visible, but speaking what shall be. Okay. Speak a prophetic message to the winds, son of man. Speak a prophetic message and say, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Come, O breath from the four winds, breathe into these dead bodies so that they may live again. So I spoke the message as he commanded me, and breath came into the bodies. They all came to life and stood up on their feet, a great army. Hold on. I'm not through. Hold on. Then he said to me, son of man, these bones represent the people of Israel. They are saying, we have become old, dry bones. All hope is gone. Okay, let me put this in modern vernacular. Okay. This message, these bones represent the people who have given up. Given up on your dreams, given up on love, given up on life, giving up on family, giving up on success, giving up on good health, giving up on wealth, giving up on purpose and destiny, giving up on humanity. Oh, I'm talking to the people who have just given up. Okay, you've given up. You said, listen, this is just what it is, and it's just going to be that. Okay. So listen. He says, therefore prophesy to them. Prophesy to them. See, our words are prophetic declarations for life or death. What did I just say? Our words are prophetic declarations for life or for death. Okay. And he said, prophesy to them and say, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Oh, my people, I will open your graves of exile and cause you to rise again. Then, hold on. I'm speaking to the dead. I will open your graves of exile and cause you to rise again. Then I will bring you back to the land of Israel. When this happens, oh my people, you will know that I am the Lord. I will put my spirit in you and you will live again and return home to your own land. Then you will know that I, the Lord, have spoken and I have done what I said. Yes, the Lord has spoken. Now look. See, I believe firmly. Listen to me, because I'm gonna tell y'all how this all connects. Good morning, Marion. How are you? I'm gonna tell you how all this connects. Listen, some of you are those bones. You're dead. You're giving up hope. You're asleep. You're tired. You ain't got no more in you, so you think and say. You have given over to whatever the doctors have said concerning your health. You have given over to whatever people have said concerning your possibilities, your purpose, and your destiny. You are dead, left for dead. And yet, staying dead is a choice. It's a choice. So if you stay in the place of death, sleep, sickness, lack, struggle, I'm not talking about challenges, I'm talking about struggle. It's a choice. But the only way that you can break out is when you hear those prophetic declarations. This is what affirmations are about. Affirmations are about speaking to the dead in you, speaking life, reminding you who you are and whose you are, reminding you of the greatness that exists in you. Though you may be like dry bones in the valley, there is yet hope, should you choose to accept it. No one can make you. I can make all the prophetic declarations I want. And if you want to stay dead, you're going to stay dead. And guess what? I'm going to let the dead bury you. See, once I've spoken it, it's up to you and your spirit to grab hold of it. Now, I want you to notice something, though, in this text. I ain't trying to preach a sermon. I'm just trying to make an application, okay? In this text, when Ezekiel spoke the first time, they didn't have the bones, the muscles, and the tissues, the skin, and the breath. No. When he spoke the first time, what happened was the bones all came together, creating a complete skeleton. But there was yet more to be done. Now, remember, we went from Ezekiel saying, God asking him the question, can these bones live again? Can they live again? And Ezekiel said, oh Lord, my Lord, sovereign God, only you know. He said, I want you to speak to him. What does that tell us? We looking to God like, God, well, you the only one to know. He said, no, I'm not. You know. You have the power and the ability to speak to the things of your life and create change in your life. Though the bones be dry, though the bones be, listen to me. Listen, okay. Listen, I'm finna mess somebody up right here. I'm finna mess somebody up. I'm finna mess somebody up. Because you probably wouldn't expect me to say this, but I'm finna mess somebody up. I'm finna mess somebody up. You're in a marriage that looks dead. Listen to me. I need y'all to hear what I am telling you. You're in a marriage that looks dead. I'm not talking about no boyfriend, girlfriend relationship. I'm talking about you're in a marriage. Oh my God. See, this is some. You're in a marriage that looks dead. And you have written it off. Oh, this ain't no good. This ain't going nowhere. Listen, I'm telling y'all, I want y'all to hear me because I've been there more than once where I was in a marriage that in my mind was absolutely dead and I was gone. And God began to speak and move. And restoration occurred. Now listen, remember I told you that we have choices. We have choices. This thing called marriage is not one way. It's two-way. It requires two people actively involved, right? But there are some things that we can do to resuscitate that which looks dead. Give it new life. Now, whether or not life is sustained depends on what both people do with the new breath that has been breathed into it. But what I'm telling you is, don't throw it away before you speak to it. Don't throw it away before you deal with you and let God deal with you. Don't throw it away before you've done everything that you can do. Don't throw it away before you do that. Because then when you leave, you can leave in good conscience. You can leave knowing that you did everything that you could do. You can leave knowing that you tried everything that you could try. You can leave knowing that you didn't leave nothing on the table, that you put your all into it. So it's not a thing of you just walked away at the first sign of trouble. God specializes in reconciliation, and reviving and resuscitating that which looks dead, because then you will know that He is God. Listen, we don't know He's God when He does the stuff that is ordinary. That's not. We know He's God when He does the stuff that looks impossible. That's only God could do that. Thank you, cousin. Corey said yes, because affirmation is supposed to bring manifestations. Exactly. But it's not just the words that you say. It's the energy behind the words that you say. It is the belief behind there are things that we can do to enhance the power of the words that we say. Listen, let me tell y'all something. We don't understand the power of our words, because if we did, we wouldn't say half the ish we say, including me. God had to deal with me about my mouth, because my mouth is powerful. I say stuff and stuff manifests. You got to be careful what come out your mouth. So I need you to understand that you don't have to allow other people to dictate your life, your living, your success, your health, your wealth, your family, any of that. You don't have to let the things that have happened, the people that you've lost, dictate your mood, your emotions, your feelings, how you feel during a particular time. We can take control of all of that. But it's a choice. We got to choose it. It's a choice. What are you choosing? because you're choosing something. Look at your life and see what your life looks like. And then I want you to track back your choices, your choice of words, your choice of actions. Track back your choices, because your life as it currently exists right now in this moment is a direct reflection of choices that you made in the past and words that you spoke in the past. So you want to change your life, change your choices and your words. Prophesy to yourself. Speak to yourself. Learn how to tap in to the God power in you and use it to shift yourself. I declare that God is revealing the plots, the schemes, and the snares set to destroy the children of Memphis. I declare that the people behind it are being exposed. I declare that children are being found alive and well in one piece and not traumatized. I declare that children are waking up and not falling prey to the traps, that they are going to get an intuition that something's going to say to them, don't go, don't do this, something's off, something's wrong. I declare that their eyes are going to be opened and the fog is going to be lifted off of their minds. I declare the fog over Memphis dissipated. The evil spirit that is attempting to overtake Memphis must move in the name of Jesus, by the blood of Jesus, because of the authority of Jesus, because of the sacrifice of Jesus, because he has given us all power on heaven and in earth. Listen, I declare that we don't have to sit back and silently watch anything happen in this world. I declare that people are taking their mouth off of Deion Sanders, that he is moving forward in his purpose to fulfill his next assignment. I declare and decree that everyone under the sound of my voice, everyone who watches this video, every replay, every re-listen, that everyone under the sound of my voice will feel the presence of God come upon them so strongly that every dry area of their life is made wet. Every place that is shattered, the bones that are just spread out are coming together, that they come together, that the muscles and the tissue come, that the skin comes, and the ruach breath of God blows upon them, that they might know what it feels like to live and speak and prophesy over their own lives, their own situations and their circumstances. I declare that today is the last day that you stay dead under the sound of my voice. I declare life and life more abundant. I declare that you shall live and not die. You shall live and not die. You shall live and not die, to declare the works of the Lord, that the glory of the Lord will fall upon you. That wherever you are right now, the glory sweeps through like a mighty rushing wind, pushing out everything that is not God. Eyes open. Eyes open. That the warrior spirit that resides in you is awakened. And you are no longer a sleeper. Oh, I came to activate the sleeper cells, the cells that have been asleep, that have given up. Oh, it is so. It is so. Y'all talking about amen. That's right. Let it be so. It is so. It is so. It's already done. It's already done. It's already done. So stop. Stop acting like the current state that you find yourself in is your final state, your final destination. It is not so. It is a lie from the enemy. But guess what? Guess what? You have believed the lie for so long that the truth sounds like a lie. The truth of God is the truth. Nothing can change that. Not what you feel, not what you think, not what it looks like. Nothing can change that. I am healed and whole. I am prosperous. I am loved and I am loved. Everything that God has spoken concerning my life will, shall, and must come to pass because God said it. And his word will not return to him void. But it shall accomplish everything that it's sent forth to accomplish. Y'all better stop letting life try to convince you of what it is. You better speak to it and tell it what it is. No, no, I'm going to tell you what it is. Stop saying, oh, sovereign Lord, only you know. No, he told us already. Listen, when Jesus said, I came that you might have life and life more, but he already told us what it is. In the word, when it says by his stripes we were healed, he already said what it is. When he said that I took the keys of death from the enemy, he already said what it is. No, what you saying? Well, Lord, whatever your will is concerning me, he already told us his will. What are you saying? Well, only God. No, 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 no. You know, but you won't say because you don't believe. And he said, yes, Corey said, I believe. And he said, I am the head and not the tail. I am more than a conqueror. Baby, you better speak to yourself. Prophesy. Yes, this is a prophetic drive-by. I get on here and I prophesy to y'all. But baby, you can prophesy to yourself. See, do you understand that? I just want you to know that you can, I can confirm some things for you. I can say what God showed me concerning you, right? I can confirm it, right? But he already done told you. He ain't finna tell me something that he ain't never said to you. He ain't gonna do that. Now, you might not want to hear it. You might not have wanted to see it, but he already done told you. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all. And he does the same thing with me. Listen, you know what I know? The fact that God gave me that poem, you know what that lets me know? I'm closer than I think. See, he done activated something in me. I'm closer than I think. I'm closer than I think. To that love, to having that love. Y'all, that was a very present love, wasn't it? It was very present. Like listen to the poem, you would think, oh, she in love, honey. Who's she in love with? You would think that lets me know I am closer than I think. Lest I give up, lest I tap out, lest I quit, lest I close myself off. Lest I settle for a counterfeit. Do you understand what I'm telling you? See, God will remind you of what it is that he has for you so that you won't tap out. There are always choices that we get to make. We get to make choices. We can choose to obey God and work his vision for our life, or we can choose not to. It's a choice. It's a choice. We get to choose. We can choose to receive the prophetic word that the Lord sends us, right? And put a demand in the spirit for the manifestation of it. You got to put a demand on it. I'm going to tell y'all something. This is one of the problems that I see in the church. Church people don't want to put a demand on God for nothing. Like they say, Lord, I need you to da, but you ain't putting no demand. What's putting a demand on God? Putting a demand on God is acting as though it's already there when it's not there. It ain't in your account. You don't know where it's coming from, but you put a demand on God, and somehow, some way, God works things out. Now, he may not work it out when you want it. He may not work it out the way you want it, but he works it out. Why? You have put a demand on God with his word. God, your word says that your word will not return void, but it shall accomplish everything that it is sent forth. Your word says that I am the head and not the tail, above only and not beneath, the lender and not the bar. That's what your word says, God. God, your word says, I've never seen the righteous taken nor his seed begging bread. That's what your word said, God. You got to put God's word. Your word says that by his stripes we were healed, God. That's what your word say concerning me. Your word says that you'll give me the desires of my heart. That's what your word say, God. I'm not talking about what I said. I'm talking about what you said. So I prophesy to my life that it must align and must line up with what you've already declared for me. That's what your word said. Oh, Lakita. Lakita said we pray safe prayers. Put a demand on God. He wants us to. Listen, as a parent, as a grandparent, there are things that I want to do for my kids, my grandkids, and my great grandkids. There are things that I want to do. There's a legacy that I want to create and leave for them. And it requires me breaking through some things that have held my family hostage. Did y'all hear what I said? Things that have not just held me hostage, my family hostage for generation after generation after generation after generation. On my mama's side, on my daddy's side, on my mama's side, and on my mama's daddy's side, on my daddy's mama's side, and on my daddy's side. Do you understand what I'm telling you? On my mama's side, and on my mama's daddy's side. Okay, do y'all get it? On my mama's mama's side, and on my mama's daddy's mama's daddy's side. Generation after generation. That's what I'm saying. So if that be the case, I can't tap out. But it also means I need to know what that stuff is. I need to ask questions. I need to do research. I need to understand what are the generational curses that have shown up in our family. What are these generational patterns that exist in my family? So what's some of them? Single women. Single women, never married, multiple marriages. It's a pattern on both sides. So what do I have to do? I have to be willing to get at the root of why that exists. Yes, Tim, stop the curses. Somebody gotta be the one. Corey said, put that poem on a plaque. You have a buyer in me. That poem's so fire. Say it again before you get off, please. I got you, boo. Somebody gotta be the one. And I made up in my mind that my children and their children are not going to have to carry the curses that have existed in my family. Now, my children have already been affected. They've already been affected. But baby, guess what? I can show them something different. As long as I'm still living, I can show them something different. So you know what? This is my commitment to experience a level of wealth that shows my children what's possible, no matter how long it takes. To experience a level of success that shows them that if you set your mind to it, what God has declared for your life can manifest regardless of what people say. That people, I don't care about people counting you out. I don't care about people saying it's too late. I don't care about none of that. None of that. Like, oh, it can be broken. Oh, it can be broken. Oh, I'm finna show you. I don't care that the other marriages didn't work. Oh, you're going to see me in love and love. You're going to see a man treat me the way that I deserve to be treated. You're going to see what it looks like when a man loves a woman and when a woman loves a man for real. You're going to see that God love show up. You're going to see the family. You're going to see the building of family and family traditions, the things that I always wanted, where all the kids come to the house for the holidays. They bring their families. We stay. We have a big holiday dinner. Y'all know the stuff they show on the television set. Oh yeah, create that. Blended families working together, loving each other, knowing what it feels like, what it looks like. I don't care what it was in the past. Could care less. I need to know, but it don't dictate nothing. Yes, Adoni. Alcoholism, break the curse. Yes. Listen, and can I share something with y'all? Because I really think that this will help you if you get this, if you get this. I need you to get this. We look at the alcoholic, right? We look at the alcoholic and we say, why don't they just stop? Why don't they just stop? I don't understand. You don't went through all of this and you still drinking. Or why don't you just stop? Okay. Let me talk about you for a minute, because I need you to get another level of empathy, right? Let me talk about you for a minute. What is it that you do in your life that you should just stop, but you haven't? What is that? And I don't care what it is. You may say, but it's not the same. It's the freaking same. That's the problem. We want to make other people's issues so different from the ones that we deal with. The only thing that changes is what the issue is. The same struggle that I had stopping eating ice is the same struggle that an alcoholic has stopping drinking alcohol. It's the same. It's the same. As much as I knew I didn't need to eat that ice, I was still eating the ice. As much as I knew that the ice was jacking my teeth up, I still ate the ice. Even when I made a decision that I was going to fast the ice, I couldn't fast the ice. So because but listen now, listen. But I could look at the alcoholic and say, well, why don't they just stop drinking? The drug addict can say, why don't they just stop doing drugs? The person that's gambling and say, well, why don't they just stop gambling? The same reason that I can't stop eating that ice. We don't want to get to the root of things, and we don't want to empathize with other people. No, we want to judge other people, but we won't judge ourselves. Well, we do judge ourselves, but we judge ourselves sometimes differently. Listen, this is why this journey that I've been on to teach people about those self-sabotaging behaviors, because they show up and they don't just affect you, they affect other people. See, we believe the lie. We believe the lies. And we never open ourselves up to the truth. What's the lie? The judge would say to me, this is my judge, and I call my judge Tomb Raider because it's always somewhere raiding a tomb, pulling up something that's dead. Okay. The judge would say, my Tomb Raider would say, oh, you writing a poem about love? Oh, you ain't gonna find that. You ain't gonna find that. Ain't nobody gonna love you like that. They're gonna look at you and be like, you done been married 5 times, lady. I'm not fooling with you. Are you really gonna be married and stay married? Because your track record is a little spotty. Now, it ain't even spotty, it's jacked up. The judge would say that Tomb Raider, and I have to identify him as that, the Tomb Raider. No, Tomb Raider, I'm not listening to you. The Tomb Raider would say, you've been talking about wealth all your life. Oh, you're going to be the first millionaire. You're going to be a billionaire. You're going to make millionaires. You 56. Girl, it ain't finna happen. If it ain't happened by now, it's not going to happen. Lies. But what we do is we believe the lies because we look at the evidence of what's happening in the natural, and we forget about the power that we have. So I have to tell my Tomb Raider, lies you tell. Oh, I ain't never had a problem getting a husband. Like, that's never been a problem. Now, what I did have a problem with was seeing me, loving me, accepting me, believing that I deserve certain things. Now, I had a problem with settling. I did. If you say that's the truth. You had a problem with settling. That's the truth. I had a problem with settling. I did. Keyword, had. You can create whatever you desire for your life. You can change whatever you want to change. But there is work that must be done. You got to do the work. It's work. So when I talk to you and I say, you got to prophesy to yourself. Yes, that's part of it. But there's work attached to those prophetic words. The words are the beginning. Remember, when he prophesied to the bones came together and created a complete skeleton. When he prophesied, the muscles and the tissues came on. When he prophesied, the skin came on. It was steps, right? There was work done in each of those steps. And then, even then, they were not alive. They looked like they could be alive, but they weren't alive because they were missing a key ingredient. the breath of God. So the wind had to come and the Ruach breath had to enter them. And I can imagine, y'all, I don't know about y'all, but visualization is very powerful. Visualization is as though you actually did a thing. You can visualize a thing and bring it into fruition because it's so real to you. And the mind does not know the difference between visualized and real. So we can create our reality. Okay, so listen, I can visualize those bodies laying there that were once just bones, right? I can visualize the skeletons laying there after they had come together. Then I can see the muscle and the tissues coming on, like, you know how they do in the AI movies, and they're still laying there. And then it just you see the red and the white of the muscle and the sinews, right? And then I can see the skin coming on, and the skin comes on and it just begins to come on their body, and it's as though they have gotten into a skin suit. And then I can see them laying there, the hair on their heads, all of that, right? And then I can see the word being spoken to the wind, and the wind swirling through and entering their mouth. You know how in the movies, the mouth opens up, and they go, and sitting up. I can see that. If you can see it, you can have it. If you can see it, if you can visualize what it looks like, you can smell what it smells like, you can feel what it feels like, you can bring it into existence in your life. You are the key to that. It's not that God is going to magically do. He already did it. Everything you need to create the life you desire, God has already given you. Jesus did the work. He already did it. You're like, Jesus, I need you to. Jesus, like, I did what I need to do. Do what you need to do. What you doing? You waiting for me to do that too? No, you got to do it. You got to do the work. You got to identify the patterns. You got to address the past. You got to address your genealogy. You got to address your pains, your hurts, your challenges. You got to address those things that have kept you stuck. You got to address your insecurities. You got to address your self-sabotaging behaviors. You have to do that. God is not going to do that for you. You must do that. Absolutely, Corey. It is the application of the word of God. I'm sick of people spouting the word of God and not applying it to their life. But I can't be mad. Listen to me. I can't be mad at the people for not applying if they don't know how to apply it. If you don't know how to apply it, if you don't know, you haven't figured it out, you don't know how to do that. Somebody got to show you what application looks like. So, to all of y'all that declare the word of God over the people of God, when you have gotten through, talking about the exegeting the word and talking about the Greek and the Hebrew, and you have gotten through telling them all of the historical facts that you have studied and you have understood, tell them how to apply this word to their life. Can you please do that for me? Do that for them. Do that for God. Oh, you exegeted the mighty word of God, but don't nobody know how to apply nothing that you just said. Nobody. Not even you. If we could stop trying to impress the dead and start trying to resurrect the dead with the resurrection power of Jesus Christ, we might have it. We might just have it. Oh, the word works. It most definitely does. But the word works when you work it. Which is one of the reasons that I do what I do the way I do it. It's so funny to me. My thing is this. Listen to me. I am not concerned about me becoming famous. I'll be famous. My name will be made great. It is a part of the Abrahamic covenant and the Abrahamic promise. That's going to happen. My concern is empowering people to change their lives. Listen, I don't want to just have a name that's spoken, but no lives are changed. Listen, the name will be the name. But the key is empowering people to change their life. Empowering people to change their life where they know, like, they look back over their life and they say, dog, I've grown. Oh, yeah, that's my compliment right there. When you say, I've grown, I want you to grow. I want you to believe in you. I want you to bet on you. I want you to have confidence like Prime got confidence in him. I want you to know that that is not about being arrogant. You can't change you if you don't believe in you. And you're not going to change the world if you don't believe in you. But you can't change the world until you change. You got to start with you. Got to change you. You're the first partaker in the word that God gives. So you know what I know? I know God was reminding me of some stuff today. He was saying, okay, now I need you to get ready. I'm about to do some stuff. I need you to prepare. I need you to understand. It's getting ready to pop off. Get ready. Position yourself. Line up. Strengthen yourself so that you'll be ready to endure and run the race. I need you to know. I need you to speak to the dead areas of your life and say, you shall live and not die. It may look dead. It may look dead, but just because it look dead don't mean it is dead. On this 9th day of December, the month that the Lord declared a month of surprise, surprise, surprise. Baby, I need you to understand that what God is doing in your life, people may not understand, but baby, it's going to be God. They may not get it. Let me share this story. I'm finna bless somebody. So yesterday I'm on Facebook. And I see this woman puts a post up and she said, I just married my friend and business partner of 6.5 years. We never dated. But God did this thing. Baby, they married. They had a whole beautiful wedding. Do you hear me? Now, I know him. And I know that he has known that his wife was coming. I know that he's had some other situations where, another situation where, it was supposed to be, but it wasn't. But he believed. He did what he needed to do. When it didn't work, he moved. Like, he did what he needed to do. Listen, and God blessed him before the end of the year with a whole wife. What I tell y'all, God's moving quickly. It's not going to be, y'all, listen to me. Listen to what I'm telling you. It's not going to be these long courtships. It's not going to be this long period of dating. It's not going to be you date for a year, you get engaged, and you engage for a year. It's not going to be all that, y'all. Listen to me. For those of you who are single, I need you to understand that God is going to move muy rápido in your life. That's very rapidly in Espanol. See, and if I'm speaking Spanish, that means something too. Listen, that's a whole nother conversation. Listen. Don't be trying to put God in the box of your mind because he's not going to move like that. Don't do it. When he does it, know that it's God because you wouldn't have done it. Shannon said ours wasn't. Come on now. Hey, Mike from South Africa. Welcome. Good to see you. Hey, Tamar. Hey, my Shannon. God is doing something. 1313. Hold on. Let me look at 1313 real quick. I've been seeing a lot of numbers, but that 1313 stood out to me. Look, I made the decision that I was going to obey God and do this retreat. Okay? That I was going to obey God and do this retreat. It's a vision retreat for women. It's available live and online. at bit.ly/Dr. V Vision 2023. But it's not just the retreat. On the 28th, the day of the 28th, is going to be our vision session. That's the session that we're going to do where we write the vision. We get God's vision, we write the vision. Like, I have a whole set of exercises that we're doing that day surrounding vision. And that's open to everyone. You can be there live, you can be there online, but you need to get your vision together. Now 1313 done pop back up. That means I really got to look at it. So go register. Afterpay is available. You got options. If money is the issue, hit me up. Let's talk. Let's figure it out. I have 6 live spots where you can stay there. Stay there. One meal is included. It's $380, y'all, to stay 5 days, 4 nights, and have a meal included each day. $380, and Afterpay is available. Afterpay allows you to pay in 4 payments. Listen, we're doing application. We're not just doing a vision board. We're doing application. We're talking about, how do you manifest this? How do you bring this into fruition? Hold on. So I want you all to go register. Remember, men, you can participate on the 28th. You can participate on the 28th. Okay, 1313. Now listen to this. Angel number 1313 is all about growth, progress, and new beginnings. It is also about communicating with the world around you. If you're seeing this number over and over again, your angels are telling you that it is important to develop your spiritual side and trust in the universe, in God. Okay, that's my trust is in God. God created the universe. Okay, the universe is secondary to God. Okay. It urges you to hand over your fears, worries, and doubts. My God. Surrender everything that is weighing your spirit down. Come on now. It's a heavenly communication from the angels reminding you that the law of manifestation is operating in your favor. And what are we talking about? We're talking about manifesting the promises of God in our life. Y'all listen. If y'all listen. It bears a very sensitive and intuitive energy. And it is a sign that your guardian angels watch over you, and they want you to open up or be open to receive new ideas and creativity from them. Listen, so know this. We're going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. That's where we're going to be. We're going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. You all, this is going to be fire. It's going to be fire. Allegiant flies into Nashville, Frontier flies into Nashville, Spirit flies into Nashville. Okay, I'm just telling y'all. Hold on. That's why God activated the creative in me. Do you understand what I'm telling you? So I'm wondering, God, why have you put this poem in my spirit? And I'm gonna read the poem to you again, because somebody who wasn't on before needs to hear it. This poem is called Love Me. I wrote it this morning, 6 hours ago, whatever time that was, some crazy hour. Love me for me, not who you think or desire me to be. Love me with all of the things that are a part of me. Love my curves, my dips, my hips, my lips, but also love my grades wherever they may appear. Love me in every season and every year. Don't try to own me, possess me, control me. Instead, free me to explore me and continue to grow me. I don't go on a pedestal or in a box. I've got to get down and use the master key that unlocks my mind to conceive the inconceivable, unlocks my heart to love in ways that seem unbelievable, unlocks my soul to expand beyond the borders of what is known, unlocks my inner child to heal and become grown. You see, real love expands It doesn't constrict. It flows and blows like a flower in the wind. It doesn't wrap around you and tighten up so you can't bend. The truth is, I can't love you and you can't love me until we each love ourselves independently. Yes, I said I have to love me, my curves, my dips, my hips, my lips. I have to love my flaws, my scars, and my grays. I have to love the things that no one sees but me. I have to love my journey of becoming more me. You have to love you have to love you, hair loss and all. You have to love you with weight and weight loss. You have to love your muscles and flab. You have to love you with or without abs. You have to love your success and your failures. You have to love the lessons and pleasure. You have to love the things they said that they hated. You and I have to be glad that we both waited. Mm. Who knew you would show up out of the blue? Who knew that our encounters would produce a love that's so true? A love that is pure and open and giving. A love that without guile or evil intention. A love so powerful it opens our mind, soul, and heart. A love that feels right from the very start. All I know is love is more than I thought. And I know that this love can't be taught. It is an experience in being, eyes opened for seeing, mouth wide and freely singing, body moving, so freeing. I love me. You love you. We love we. But to God be the glory. God is trying to teach us love, his love, not love as the world knows it, but love as he shows it. He gives us the ultimate example of what love is. And one thing I love about God is he has never, ever, 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 ever forced me to do anything. Oh, he may have made some situations get tight, but he never forced me. I always had a choice, and you too have a choice. Choose ye this day who you will serve. But as for me and my house, we shall serve the Lord. Choose life or death. Both exist in the power of your tongue. Our problem is the world knows how to use their tongue better than we do. So the world is producing, the world is manifesting, because the spiritual laws are the spiritual laws, and it doesn't matter whether you say you're a believer or not. God's laws and principles work, period. We don't know how to activate the power that God has already given us, and we allow the world to do it and reap all the benefits and the harvest, and we mad at them. Don't be mad at them. Don't be mad at them. Be mad at you. Because I'm telling you, what God has been showing me, listen to me, what God has been showing me throughout the last 2 years has been designed to get us to the place where we're going with this vision retreat. It's not going to be your typical vision board session. There's nothing typical about it. There's literally some things that God showed me, told me, and brought together for me, integrated it to take it beyond the words and add the actions to produce the manifestations and the vision and the promises of God. And God, I just thank you. God, I thank you. I thank you for being you in my life. I thank you for never giving up on me. I thank you for reminding me when I felt like I wasn't a wife that I'm a wife. God, I thank you for allowing the anointing that resides in me, that drips over me, to flow like a river. I thank you for activating rivers of living water in my belly that would spew out and spew on your people to remind them that they are alive and that life and death is in the power of the God. I thank you for today. I thank you for renewed strength, power, and determination. God, I thank you for joy, unspeakable joy. God, I thank you, God, that you brought me through all of my tough times, my rough times, that you brought me through illness, that you brought me through struggle, that you brought me through lack, that you brought me through every situation and circumstance of my life. And when I should have died, God, you kept me here for such a time as this. God, I thank you for the Esther anointing that exists on my life for such a time as this. And God, I refuse to sit back and allow your people to just die, shrivel up because of a lack of knowledge. God, I'll say what you say, God. I'll do what you say, do, God. I'll go where you say, go, God. God, I'm yours. I belong to you. God, I want your will made manifest in my life more than anything, more than the air that I breathe. God, I want your will made manifest in my life. I want you to do what it is that you want to do in me and through me, God. I want it so desperately. I want it like a drowning person wants air, God. I want it, God, because I know that there is a work that you have for me to do. People attached to me that you're waiting to free. God, I want you more than anything in the world. I want to be a living, breathing example of what it looks like to serve you, to follow you, to obey you, God. I want to know, I want the world to see what it looks like to trust God and be more concerned about what God says than what people think. I want every manifestation made visible to the world so that they can say, I know that that was nobody but God. How did she go from this to this? How did this happen? God, and I'll give you all the praise and the honor and the glory. I'm just going to tell y'all. I'm just going to tell y'all now. I'm going to tell y'all now. I'm going to tell y'all now because I want y'all to know up front. The testimony that I have in January of 2023 will be a series of nobody but God events. And you will look at me and you will say, dog, what happened? Like yesterday it was this and now it's this. Like what happened? God happened. He's priming me and prepping me and preparing me for surprise, surprise, surprise. He's getting us ready, y'all. Listen, it's not just for me, it's for you too. He's getting us ready for everything that he wants to do in our lives. He's getting us ready. The question is, will you trust him enough to take the journey, no matter what it looks like? No matter how crazy it seems, will you trust him enough? There's some things that God is going to do in my life that nobody but God. And he wants the same for you. And he wants you to get clarity of that vision. So the week of December 26th through the 30th, we're changing lives in Nashville, Tennessee, and online. This is another reason I love God. God has had me doing stuff online for over a decade. Do y'all hear me? Over a decade, let me think. 2010. 2012. Yeah. 13, 14. Almost a decade. Almost a decade. I've been doing things online, having church over a teleconference line, like doing Zooms to reach people around the world, connecting with people around the globe because I know that what's in me is international, right? In 2023, you're going to see manifestations of that. Like it's going to pop like that. I'm telling y'all so y'all will know now. Listen, I don't know exactly how all of this is going to work. This is what I do know. It's going to happen very quickly. Things are going to move quickly. And I'm super excited about what God is getting ready to do. Get ready for God to do exceedingly and abundantly. See, Shannon talking about Periscope. I remember when you did that. We were having church, and our church services were streaming on Periscope. They were streaming on Periscope. Our church services were when Periscope first came out. Listen, I was doing prophetic drive-bys on Periscope. Listen to me, y'all. God just gives me foresight. I'm very forward thinking. Like I'm always about 5 years ahead of everybody else in what I do. And so it takes people a while to catch up. By the time people catch up, then I be done moved to something else. But I know that about me. So when you're a trailblazer, when you're a trendsetter, you can't get caught up in what people think and what people say, because you'll allow them to stunt you. This next move of God in my life, this next move is going to be the breakthrough move. This going to be the breakthrough move. I'm just letting y'all know. It's going to be the breakthrough move. Now, listen, I pray the word blessed you. And if the word blessed you and you want to sow a seed, you absolutely can. You may say, Dr. B, I can't go to the retreat. I can't do that. But I want to sow a seed because this word that you spoke today blessed me. It spoke to my spirit. I felt something awaken in me. You can go to Cash App $DRV Walters, Cash App $DRV Walters, or PayPal.me/DRV Walters, PayPal.me/DRV Walters. But do what God says do, because listen, this is what I believe. This is what I believe. I believe that the reason that God had me give that dry bones word, speak to the dry bones, that life word, is because he wants to release new life and ruach breath into you. Like whatever the seed is, sow the seed and know that God will yield the increase. Register for the retreat, whether you do it live or online. Register for the vision strategy session that we're going to do. Like, it's going to be amazing on December the 28th. Make some time for you to set your vision for 2023, to lay it out, to get clear from God on what you need to focus on in 23, and let him give you a strategy and a plan. 1313. Remember, it talks about manifestation. It talks about the creative. Okay. So go ahead, do that. Do that and know that God is going to move in some supernatural ways, and trust the process. Trust the process. God is going to take you through a process. Trust the process and watch what God does. Listen, I love you guys to life, and life more abundant. Know that God is for you and not against you. And I speak to every dry bone, every dry area, and declare that you shall live and not die. Live. Speak life and watch God move. I love you all. Have an amazing and incredible day. Be blessed. Mwah.